But my inclination towards the white coat was more than the black coat. The minute your passion starts earning money, then the confidence builds from all the circles. We are the only customization center and consultation center in entire India to prepare these box of dark chocolates. Now, something which has to be there on the shelf cannot be there in the body as well. The whole society that we are here to heal you through food.
Welcome to the Talk of Town podcast, where we are in conversation with entrepreneurs who have achieved success and are on their path to fame. So welcome to the Talk of Town.
The sponsor for this episode is a social media agency called Paperplay. Paperplay as a company understand your requirement, strategize your social media play, help you with the social media calendar, complete account management, and finally analyze the analytics. So if you're an entrepreneur, reach out to Paperplay for your social media needs. More details in the description below.
Our guest for today is Priyanka Ravi. She's the founder of a dark chocolate manufacturing company called Darkolates. They have not only cracked the code for creating very delicious chocolates, but they have also found the health benefits to this. So let's hear more about her journey. Hello Priyanka, welcome to Talk of Town podcast. And
Hi,
I
Raksha.
think I've been wanting to talk to you about what you do.
Thank you.
For doing this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would like to begin by asking, how has 2025 been so far?
It's been a great welcome for us because some three of the projects are lined up for us, and they are like dream come true projects for us. So it's quite a beautiful year to start off.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
So I think Priyanka Ravi has gotten synonymous to Darkolates.
Yes.
So I think it's a very proud thing. So if you can just tell us a little bit about what Darkolates does.
Yes. So Darkolates is basically a brand which resonates with the health and dark chocolates making and giving a pure indulgence to the people wanting to have the authentic dark chocolate experience. Not forgetting about the health at the same time and wanting them to gain the fullest fulfillment and even the sense of understanding what exactly it means to involve in a cacao or a cacao food.
Wow.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing this now? How long has
It's-
Darkolates existed for?
Officially, it's 8.5 now, 3 months plus of it running, and unofficially, it's 9+ years. Yes.
Superb, superb. Now, just taking you back a little bit in time,
Mm-hmm.
I think growing up in a South Indian family,
Yes.
as a woman, as a little girl, how was it growing up, and what were some of the things that you were told that you had to unlearn, I think, or relearn, or
Yes.
what
Yes.
was some of that? Can you take us back to your childhood?
So childhood, being born and brought up in articles, acts, rules, regulations, because my father is a senior most advocate, so still practicing in High Court now. And having said that, as the eldest daughter, I was much more told that at least one child of mine must go to law because he wanted at least one child of his to pursue his career and the entire set of profession what he has set it in terms of the office and everything. But my inclination towards the white coat was more than the black coat,
Oh.
and that's how Darkolates emerged. And it was quite difficult to bring this up as a brand. That's because, as you rightly said, coming from South Indian family, the orthodox mentality towards a girl being an entrepreneur or men being an entrepreneur, setting that standard from the regular norm, like going to an office and coming back and doing something really offset and very different, which nobody has done in the family, took quite a long time to define and say that and prove that that this is going to be a worth investment of the time, energy,
Yeah.
and every bit in that.
Yeah.
The minute your passion starts earning money, then the confidence builds from all the circle. So
Right.
that's what happened with us as well. So
Because I think predominantly the focus is education and employment.
exactly. That too coming from a background wherein all the members in the family are the service oriented employees, and I myself daunting to do this particular thing was quite a very daring step, because initially like 2 3 years it was too difficult.
Okay.
You need to prioritize the family, you need to prioritize the health and everything, at the same time prove that it's worth of investment of everything.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, but then I think you have managed to break through that and
Yes.
really.
So God has been very kind to us, and with God's grace, it was a great journey. And I always tell everybody in all the platforms that whenever it's an entrepreneur journey, it is never a failure or it is never a wrong step. It is always a learning step.
Yeah.
Whether we fail to make money or we fail to make a good deals, it's always the learning. Even in the downstairs of the life, it's always a learning. So in that aspect, it's a blessing to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, just in terms of your journey, if you had to like write a timeline, if you can tell us what did you study, what happened then, and then when did Darkolates happen?
Okay. So I'm basically a lawyer. So I did my 5 years law right after PUC from Siddharth Law College and Gulbarga University. And I stood ranked to college. I was doing fantastic and joined Karnataka Advocate General Mr. Uday Hola's office as an intern. And it's like a dream come true for any of the law students over there to be part of that firm. So things were quite fine for me, because I coming and, as I told you, being born and brought up in the entire environment of the rule, law and acts and everything, it was quite easy for me. And I had my father's ready setup office as well. But then somewhere wanting to come back to the firm wherein I'm serving society and being part of people's relieving stage of life, if they are suffering from some health ailments or mental ailments or any of this help which they are wanting to be extended, I wanted to be part of that. Nevertheless, having said that, even in the black coat, like in the profession of the law, it was similarly the way what we do it in the field of medicine. But again, for me, that personality was not so strong to hold that kind of the profession where we have to be really strong enough to deal with the uh, mental stability of a person, to deal with those harassments or any other strong situations of the day. I was more inclined towards the healing part of the uh, life aspect. So that's when it all took a turn into my life, and then Darkolates was the emergence of such ideology and such emergence of idea, what I combined together as a product and as a service.
Super. So you finished your law, you worked as an intern, and
Yeah.
then
Practiced
okay.
and then took a suspension. Now I have taken a temporary suspension, because as a practitioner we cannot be indulged in any of these money making entities or anything to that matter. So we took a temporary suspension in order to run this firm or to run this entity. And 2017 we got registered and started to run this brand. Up till then, like 2 years before, I was indulged in reading medical journals, and then going behind the cacao, its origin, how exactly it started, why is it dissolving with its definition, what is the exact form it has to reach to the people, and what is the common cause and relevant complaints. People are intermittently complaining, saying that if it is a weight reduction chocolate, sorry, we increase in the weight, it's the chocolate has a reason, tooth cavity, chocolate has a reason. So many of these common complaints which I could hear it from in and around the circle, I thought maybe the lack of the product or the good product is the main cause wherein people are complaining about it. And somewhere people are losing hope on themselves with their body and their self-healing capacity. Maybe that has to be ignited, put together in a proper constructive way, saying that a good food and a good service is much needed. That's when it all started, and it's going now.
Superb, superb. So you had that intention of healing as you started.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you wanted to address more health related rather than it being an entertaining snack.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it must be an entity to give that confidence to the public or society at large. At the same time, from which end it is coming, from which area it is coming, from which segment it is coming, and to give that confidence, we had to go through a lot of the involvements towards the certifications, or myself getting involved in many other empowered certifications, which will give a total confidence to the person who is eating, that it is coming from a valid and authentic person, that it can be consumed.
Yeah.
Now, for example, if a doctor launches a product which is very much concerned towards the diabetic control, then the society doesn't have a second question or a thought to ask for it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. That's the way we wanted to move and communicate to the people. It was all because that food as a medicine has still got that strength, but
Yeah.
it was dissolving over a period of time, and we wanted to bring back through Darkolates. That attempt we made it.
Superb. But I think that brings me to the next question, which is, we come from an era of your Munches, Perks,
Uh-huh.
Kit Kats, Ferrero Rocher,
Yes.
and then, yes, commercially available dark chocolates as well.
Mhm.
And you had to penetrate this market.
So true.
So how did that happen? Because I'm sure when you started to like really get serious about it, your competition was this.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how did you break that, or what was your mindset? What was running through your mind when you decided to do Darkolates at that time?
Yes. So it was very much confirmed and decided that it's going to be only a health segment. But initially, when we started, we wanted to introduce this as a brand. So we cannot overwhelmingly say that eat this and you're relieved from something else, or claiming health. That would have been a wrong part on us. When we wanted to talk about the health over a period of time, when it ages like a fine wine, then only we are able to communicate what we are intending to do that. And initially when we started, there were a lot much of the hurdles and disbeliefs and oppositions and no support and absolutely nothing. So many entrepreneurs do not talk about it because they feel that when a brand has been named and settled and recognized in a society, if any negative affirmations or negative comments or statements are made, then the brand might get affected. But it is very important to talk about it, because the truth and the confidence both go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once it is built, that means you need to be patientfully waiting in order to something good to happen in life. So patience is very much vital, whether in life or in the process of healing.
True. True. Absolutely.
So initially, when we started, as I told you, there were a lot much of the positions, and many of the forums I was present, and they used to claim and oppose, saying that when you don't do dark in milk, or take straight away deny the orders for the milk chocolate and the white chocolate, how are you going to establish an entity?
Yeah.
It's quite wrong what approach you're having. That is the reason women are not supposed to be in a business. And unless you are in a startup or a funded company, you cannot settle. And what is the guarantee that you will have a good accomplished entity in future? Because as a woman, we cannot trust the entrepreneurs, because they are anytime called upon by the family to take off the business because of the responsibility they are backed up by. So all this was there, because the minute we enter this forum of entrepreneur journey, they always say, with whoever you want to do business, you can do, but not with a woman, because it is very not so trustfully done, entire thing or the plan or layout, because she's a woman. So this was definitely there, and we were not something different to not to face that. We definitely faced that. But over a period of time, with the commitment what we had it, they started to understand that it's coming from a serious background, and the references and the inquiries also started to get completely distinguished, that whatever was relevant only used to come
That
to
would
us.
come.
Yeah, not like MOQ 5,000 pieces, and do you do the compound chocolates, and 5 rupees chocolate, 10 rupees chocolate, and everything of that matter. Everything got just sorted out with the passing of the time, and we could then establish a total clarity that we are here for some sensible way to give it to you as a product and as a service. And that's how it got completely segregated.
So the big guys never intimidated you.
No,
you,
no, no, no,
They were
no.
not even in your league.
No, definitely not. For the reason that we are the only customization center and consultation center in entire India to prepare these box of dark chocolates. So when I say this, it's a proudest to feel for us, because No brand or no entity or any of the company in the industry of the dark chocolate manufacturing or any chocolate manufacturing would per se back up this particular statement and say that we are here, whatever you eat from our brand, we are here to take your complaints. Nobody would say that. They would say dark chocolate is good for your health, eat at your own risk. Now, how is it made? What is it made? They are not bothered because they are not segmenting or they are not targeting the segments which are wanting to have health sake chocolate consumption.
Got it.
Here we are only focused for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because your intention right from the beginning was that.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's
Got
like
it.
that.
So, if you can just break down Darkolates for us in terms of what are the products you offer. Like if one has to sort of probably, let's put it this way, like if we have to ask you for a menu card,
Yes. So
how would you
we
present
have
it?
around 36 plus varieties only in the dark.
Okay.
Right from the fruit variants to nuts and seeds and rarest of rare fruit seeds and etc. So here we only make the combination of these compositions with respect to the food again, and no inclusion of Ayurvedic, no inclusion of any allopathic or say homeopathic or naturopathic, and nothing of that sort. It's just the food which is in and around you that has been made in a combination with that. So because only single food is never a superhero. Yeah, it is always the combination of the food. So when we combine the foods, then a superhero is present, and that superhero is presented in the form of different variants of the Darkolates, and that's how we have around 36 plus variants only in the dark. No milk and no white.
So you focus completely on dark chocolates.
Completely
only.
on dark.
Got it. Got it. Now, are these all variants like just commercially, like you can just buy it for a party, or is it directed towards health benefits?
So we have two of the segregations here, two of the platforms where we are working. One of the platform is for the customization. Customization as in we don't work on the outer packaging or embossing or printing or coloring, nothing of that sort. Customization means we ask you what is the requirement now. So when you approach us, so we ask you what is the occasion? Is it for a haldi, mehendi, sangeet, wedding, or any sort of the occasions where you're specifically wanting to, whether it is for the spinster party or a get together or anything like that. So depending on that, we customize. Now for a bachelor party, we have the ultimate, which is made from a spearmint, which gives a very good, fantastic combination with many of the alcohols what they take it. And for the spinster party, we have different things, which is very feminine one like lavender, rose, goes very well with the other kinds of the things. And for the haldi, we have something which is really cool, like fruit punch, just like blueberry, vanilla, and subtle flavors to lamsa, which is the tea variant.
Okay.
So likewise, we customize. So flavors will give you an addition to involve and indulge in the beautiful combinations, whatever you have it. Because only on the occasions we customize this, not on the customization part of the outer box, what normal other brands do it.
So you focus more on the flavor.
Yes.
And making it part of the event.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
So we do the bulk ordering for any of the occasions, whatever they say. Only thing is we need time constraints like of about a week ago, or say intimating us 5 days prior or 10 days prior, depending upon the quantity. It's like that. So another part vertical is the health segmented one, which will be focused only on the variants which will be backed up by the consultation. Now, for example, when I say for the migraine is not the similar migraine for everybody. So we consult them and we educate them and tell them like, why is your body intermittently suffering from migraine? What are the causes? The minute they have a proper understanding with that, then including these customized box of dark chocolates into their food plan will act like a nutraceutical product.
Right. So
Yes.
in your second segment, you also do consulting.
Yes.
Do you have professionals in-house?
Yes, we do. So we have onboarded clinical dietitians with us, nutritionists with us, and diabetologist, where we cater our box of dark chocolates to hospitals. So having said that, I myself is a certified nutrigenome expert, and it does mean that we talk about the effect of nutrition on the genetical combination.
Okay.
Yeah. So some people say that no, genetically I have been passed by my father this, that, and my mother from this, that, etc. So it's a myth. Myths to an extent, not completely.
Yeah.
Genetically passed things will definitely can be overtaken, or you can still combat and fight with that with the nutritious food what you take it. It is still possible.
Oh, so altering it, that is possible.
Exactly. That
Okay.
is when the subject of nutrigenomics comes. So it tells you what is the effect on the genetical combination as well, how you can take over that fault which is there as a loop in the genetics.
Ah,
Yeah. And as a certified critical care nutritionist from University, so we sensibly create a very good food plans or the diet plans to the patients who are bedridden or not wanting to have a proper health or suffering from much of the medication side effects and everything. We take care of that as well. And as a certified maternal and a child nutritionist, so we sensibly create and go through a very detailed understanding of the mother and the baby's requirement for their entire lifetime nutrition with the stage by stage to be considered. That is also being taken care by us. As a dietitian, this was the course which I got it done very recently. So from Maharani Cluster University. So this was the very newest course, and it's a beautiful course where you learn things in such a deeper way that what people are taking for granted as a health can still be reverted back or corrected with the food
Okay.
itself.
Yeah.
No need to completely plunge or immediately go to the medications or supplements.
Ah,
Unless need be, it's a stronger condition or a very chronic condition, then only you can go. But until then, you can handle and activate your healing process
through food that we
through
take
food.
every day.
Everything is through food.
Right,
Yes.
right. Now, I just feel like we are living in this 10-minute delivery
Mm-hmm.
environment,
Yes.
right? Now, in a simple household, we have a chocolate requirement.
Mhm.
It could be for gifting, it could be for
Yes.
consumption, it could be for distribution at a birthday party.
Yes.
Now, I think it's all about that choice that you make at that point.
So true.
Will I, sort of click this button and order something that's commercially
Yes.
available?
Yes.
Or am I going to order something that's healthy?
So true. So
Right?
true.
It
So true.
finally boils down to that. Now, can you give us some reasons and some ways where we can change this mindset where people can go in for more healthy options of ordering from niche places like yours,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you can just tell us, if I can blatantly put it, these chocolates are harmful
Mm-hmm.
that are mass produced.
So true.
So if you can just tell us a little bit about the harmful effects and why one should order from boutique businesses like yours.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just tell us and enlighten us, in fact.
Okay. This is a very important and valid question you just threw at us. The thing is, only term dark chocolate does not define or give a whole sense of the health in itself. So the choice has to be very specific, that what brand you're picking up, and does the brand really contribute towards the best product to come out. And over and above, the questions which has to be asked for a food brands, that approach itself has to be changed now. This education is very important, because the minute we say that we are into the health or brand or anything, the minute we say that, the first and foremost questions they ask us is that, what is the shelf life?
Yeah.
So that's not supposed to be the way you approach, because shelf life is not the definition of what the product is good or bad, or how the product is good or bad to be treated. The lesser the shelf life, it is the best.
Yes.
Yes. And the outer packaging has to be given the leastest of importance. Yes, we do also believe that jo dikta hai wo bikta hai as a concept is very much there in the industry, but not at the same time, because some of the good stuffs can come in a very small packaging and a simple packaging as well, because you want to contribute towards Mother Earth and the ecology and ecosystem in a very responsible way.
Right.
As an entrepreneur, you must contribute from all the angles, not only just in a money making, but
Yeah.
morally, mentally, socially, everywhere you are at a responsibility to deliver the best, and to in a very sensible and a very educative way.
Yeah.
So the outer packaging has to be given a less importance, and the people are driven by the packagings which are exorbitantly beautiful, big, large, and
Shiny.
shiny, and everything. So that's another thing. And third most important is the how chocolate looks adorable. I do understand something which is very good to look at also makes you or tempts you to eat. That's how the commercial brands have got this
Yes.
attractive strategies to do.
Yes.
So that should not be promoted. Now, when we go to buy a vegetables, when we are frequently and intermittently asking the vegetable seller to give us a very, very good designed or a good colored capsicum or tomato, and then he says that, then hybrid are the ones where we have to sell, not the
Locally
non-hybrid.
grown.
Yeah, locally grown. So the local growns or the non-hybrid are very odd to look at and unshaved and very, very ugly to look at. But the health aspect, what it is giving is immense.
Yes.
We always say that one
Yes.
tomato content that is non-hybrid, the locally grown one, is equal to 10 hybrid tomatoes. So it is scientifically proven.
Yeah.
Now, these are the ideologies and the approaches which we have to educate to the common people and make them understand that it is not just the outer look, what you have to see, the inner content as well. And any dark chocolates which are there in the market, they are all alkalized. That means it's a chemical process which the industry or the mass production producing industries apply in order to nutrify or nullify the entire flavor notes or the nonsenses in the chocolates.
Okay. Okay.
See, I'll tell you one simple example. It's like a dark chocolates are like a real mango, and the commercial dark chocolates are like fruity. This is the most, or I do not want to utter the brand. It's like any other, say, a drink which is in the form of fruit essence.
Got it.
Yeah. So it is just the satisfaction what you get it when you have that, but never a health benefit. It's exactly the same way because every seller of the brand cannot sit and explain you that this batch of the beans what we have got has got a fruity note, has got a earthy note, or a nutty note, or etc. 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 It's quite difficult to understand for a customer
Yeah.
and for them as well. So because they are not coming from the background where they are wanting to target the health to the people. Now we are wanting to target the health to the people and give them a confidence that you can still come back with your health by the good food. So when we are wanting to do that, we don't want to commercialize like that.
Yeah.
We don't want to deceive the customer saying that because it is only bitter, it's dark chocolate. It's never that.
Yeah.
So if you could eat our variants, 90 is also not that bitter at all because the beans what we have used is the highest quality beans, which is organic by certification, not by the produce of the certificate, but by intermittent test of 3 years of the soil test, and post that what the certificate they get it, that's when we believe the produce and we buy it.
Yeah, because I think dark chocolates are synonymous. Like it's like dark chocolate. Like, of course, it's bitter.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
notion.
Yeah, it's a notion. It's a myth, what we call it as.
Yeah.
It's a social stigma saying that when it is dark chocolate being uttered, it's going to be bitter.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is not so.
Okay.
It's obviously not so. You find when you have dark chocolate, it's like even the 90 and 70% above. You have earthy notes, citrusy notes, lemonish, and then fruitish, and then earthy, and then many other beautiful notes are there. So we take you through the entire journey. That's when we also conduct these Darkolates tasting session as a luxury sessions.
Okay.
So to many other brands we have done it. So where people involve in different signature dishes from or signature compositions from Darkolates dark chocolates, and they are made to go through to enhance their palate experience and to identify the flavor notes, and they get excited to note down the flavor notes.
Okay, it's really exciting. I mean, I think even I feel like doing it. Now, if we sort of think of chocolates in general, there is a whole, ecosystem now that's developed that it's, of course, very unhealthy, right? And then, yes, now when you want to eat chocolate, the next best choice is dark chocolate.
Yes.
At least you feel less guilty when you're eating dark chocolates.
Yes.
And then there is this other school of thought which says dark chocolate is very healthy. It also
Yes.
helps probably better your mood while not really damaging your health so much.
Yes.
So for an audience that is not aware of this world,
Okay.
can you just throw some light on some of the myths that dark chocolate has and also its benefits in terms of health and what impact it has?
Yes. So India was third largest country for a diabetic condition. Now in 2025, it's the first largest company to be diabetic in entire world. So this is a very sad news or the sad condition for we Indians to go through because whatever the, I do not want to name the brand, whatever the brand we get it over here in India, so much so loaded with the sweet and the sugar, what we get it in England or any other country, the similar brand.
Oh.
That's because the brands always read the strategies for the marketing. So they understand that Indian palate is highly a sweet or a sugar craving one. So they play with the understanding of the market now. So the customer, when is wanting to have such kind of the inclusions in their food,
Yeah.
obviously there is some wrong product developing in the country. Now, because of that, we are suffering as a first diabetic country in the world. Having said that, people have a very wrong advertisements or say educations done in a wrong way towards the subject of chocolate. So the subject of chocolate stands in two complete different directions, one in the white and milk and other concepts and other in the dark. So when people are wanting to involve in some of the good product or good brand chocolates, it is definitely okay to do that, because we only say unless you are an Indian, why do you want to surrender to another chocolate which is completely not giving you any benefit at all? Now, we Indians are blessed so much so that we are able to involve ourselves in so much of the locally, traditionally made sweets and savories that will give you benefits of health as well as the involvement of the sugar cravings to be mitigated,
Also.
like jalebis or anything to that matter. They have a backup of time tested recipes which will give you a best health benefits as well, isn't it? So that being the one case where we, unless you are an Indian, otherwise you can involve in any other foods,
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah.
want to. Now, coming to the dark, it has become a trend again, where people are making a mockery, or it's a big mafia in terms of uttering of word called organic, just high pricing in terms of organic, whether it's a food or a
Yes.
brand or a chocolate or anything to that matter. So it should not be done, is what we say. So you need to understand that when it is organic, it will be a bit expensive, not overly expensive, one thing. And it is expensive because in today's generation, the topsoil fertility has lost, and it is very difficult for any farmer to raise any of the crops or the yields without pesticides or without any chemicals.
Yeah, yeah.
So for that effort, you are paying much a little higher. That's all. So that one thing. And why is we wanting the entire world to shift towards the dark is that when there is some benefits looked towards some of the food like cacao, it has to be enhanced, because as I always say in every of the platform whenever we are given an opportunity to talk or explain, cacao by the time reached to India, it has totally lost its definition. Now we are wanting to redefine the definition of its original consumption. So, like I say, everywhere, like whatever the pani puri we eat it in Bangalore, it's not the authentic original way. Like we get it in the North India. So by the time it reached over here, its
It has
definition
its
is
own-
totally
yeah, yeah.
different things. So like that, the chocolate also has got its definition totally dissolved. Now we're trying to come back with the redefinition being done through the Darkolates dark chocolate, and promising health was never a new subject from us. It's there since Mesoamerican civilization and even before that also. But only thing what we did is we have made a comeback with the unveiling of the true facts of it, that how it has to be eaten, how it has to be drunk, how it has to be experienced.
Okay.
Yet again, getting the best benefit of the health. That's the attempt we made it. And now with the commercial brands, it doesn't happen, because none of the commercial brands you might not have come across or I might not have come across. And I don't think so there is any other brand which equally says that you can have our dark chocolates and still come back and complain us if you're not benefited by that. We are here to do that.
Okay.
We are admitting the fact that whatever we do for whatever of the compositions, we are definitely here to take the entire double-shouldered responsibilities, and we are certified practitioners who are authentically following this journey to give you the entire load of health, so that you get the confidence on yourself that you can come back with your health ailments in a better way.
Got it. Now, what are generally the benefits of consuming dark chocolate?
There are various benefits. So when it comes to the commercial, I completely say it is nil. So, but people feel very shocked to hear that. How can you say with the commercial it is very nil? It is so true, because when you are treating a chocolate and when you are alkalizing a chocolate, so obviously all the health benefits are washed off.
Gone.
It's gone. It's only to keep it in the shelf very intact and sell it to the different areas. It has to be good, and with loads of the preservative, and it has to come on the shelf. Definitely, that's not going to solve the purpose. Now, something which has to be there on the shelf cannot be there in the body as well. A tomato which is kept on the table has to get rotten within about 2 days. If it doesn't, then it doesn't happen in the body as well.
Right.
Yeah. So something which can decay easily on table to the external environment will also contribute best for us as well.
Yes.
So likewise, anything which has got a shelf life less is good for us. Likewise, dark chocolates which are on shelf with more of the shelf life is really risky and it's not so good at all. And there are various, like when you have a very fantastic and original and a pure form of cacao per se or dark chocolate, so there are stem cell modifications happening, and it's heart friendly, cardiac friendly, and then it helps you to maintain the blood glucose level, reduce the weight, and there are beautiful benefits of it. It's like it's a kind of a one ingredient hero, to say in a more specific way, but it has to be had it in its own way. Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, I think we can begin from there. So now kids are often not attracted to this because I think there are commercials that are very beautiful. You have
Yes.
chocolate pouring. And,
Yes.
kids are drawn to brand names, and I think all kids are aware of what brand they want and
True.
what they like. Now, how do you think we can make that shift? What is your opinion on especially kids' palates? Because I think as you grow older, you have a little bit more control on what you want to consume.
Mm-hmm.
But kids, being the biggest consumers, they tend to eat a lot more that may have long-term, health hazards for
Exactly.
them as they
Exactly.
grow older. So how can we make that shift in kids? Because I don't think they are drawn to dark chocolates.
Exactly. So, but in a total strength of 100, hardly about 5 to 10% of the kids have got that good palate for the dark chocolate. Other kids, they just straight away deny, as you rightly said. It's the deceiving advertisements and the attractive ads what the kids are more prone to see. That is the reason they are driven towards that. So, conducting educational sessions down to the school level will definitely help them to understand. So the seed of guilt, what we are trying to introduce to the kids through the sessions what we conduct. Yeah. So what exactly happens to them? Because now a 10-year-old kid doesn't look like 10-year at all.
Yeah.
Straight away looks like 15 or 19.
Correct.
A girl of 10 doesn't look like 10 at all. Now straight away looks like 15 or 20. That's because of the hormonal imbalance what is going on or happening with the kids. What they're having through the food, what has been, we call it as a endangered zone wherein they are really in a very critical condition that what happens to their body is not at all understood by them. Now, making them understand that if you eat a wrong choice of food, what are the implications, then that will create them a guilt. That's what we were able to do it in about n number of the sessions what we conducted in many of the educational institutions. Though we did not get immediate orders or immediate responses, after about 5 6 months, you may not believe, so many of the parents started to come back and say that no, we could observe the observations what you had said it. Now my son doesn't want that to eat it. Probably he is able to observe the after effects, everything. Now what happens is with the problem is not with the society, with the elders, so-called we educated or literates. We only straight away say kids to not to eat that. We have to back up that no restriction with an explanation.
Correct.
And also a sense going ahead, one step ahead, explaining them what are the after effects of it. For example, if they're eating a bread for the breakfast, what could you feel by noon? Are you going to feel energetic? Are you going to go for a play? Are you going to sit and watch in front of the TV? Or what is it you're going to do if you eat bread as a breakfast? Then when you explain that, the child will see the symptoms and connect the dots.
Yeah.
Then he will come back to your line.
Yeah.
Just by saying no eating bread to the breakfast, no having chocolates, no munching chocolates doesn't solve the purpose.
Yeah.
Because they always want an explanation.
Yes.
So these are very much needed. Now, when we start doing this, and when the bigger brands or the entities and the good names or people having a good, strong content on the society, if they start promoting this particular concept, probably the kids also will do that.
Yeah. I think it's
Definitely.
the key is education, and
Yes.
like you rightly said, I think that's a big takeaway, that if you make them aware of consequences.
Yes.
Because kids, I think now are very smart.
So true.
They are able to
They are
visualize.
able to. They are able to.
Like if I do this today, this is the consequence I'll have. I
Exactly.
think it's about education and about parents being involved in these decisions.
So true, so true. Many a times when parents come to us and say that my adolescent or my teenager is not getting handled by me, and when I say what is the food pattern they give, the food pattern itself is so hopeless that obviously they don't come under control. So in order to correct their behavior, you must take control on the food what you prepare.
Got it.
So that most of these teenage girls going through a lot of hormonal imbalance, it is the hormones which are making them play that kind of the behavior.
Yeah.
So now if you take control on that, like what is the food to be given to diminish their hormonal atrocity, definitely they are under your control. So control in order to make them feel safe until they are grown to make their good choices.
Absolutely. Until then,
Yeah.
it's our responsibility.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So if this is done, so just asking them, so you don't like dark chocolate, right? Consume it for about a week. And if you don't find that, if it is a girl, you can just pamper her by saying that, no, your pimples are gone, you look beautiful, your hair is, you look, I mean, it looks
It's looking
glossy,
nice,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. It enhances your feminine energies and etc. All that. If a boy, then you can tell you look masculine, you look handsome, your height grows to 2 folds, anything like that. So getting down to their level and manipulating that understanding to them
Yeah.
will give a good result.
Superb.
Yeah.
I think now I want to shift the focus to entrepreneurship.
Yes, please.
Yes. So often I think chocolate making, baking, cooking are conventionally looked at as roles that women take on and mostly hobbies in your kitchen. Now, for you personally, when you started out, what was that one turning point that defined that, okay, this is not my hobby, like this is going to be serious business? I mean to do like large quantities and make it big and, take it seriously and make others believe that. What was that turning point for you?
The day I decided itself was a big turning point because the day
Okay.
I picked up the medical journals, that was itself a turning point because that turned the entire scenario and the entire situation around the world of health and the medical. That's because it's not over a period of time. It didn't start as a passion like making chocolates for an occasion or catering to different parties or anything like that. It was right from day one, it was only for the medical fraternity, only for the health.
Right.
Yeah, it was so clear that I didn't want it to shift or neither change to any of the other areas at all. I was very much focused. And the thing is, your next immediate question was like, was it difficult for you to follow up as a woman? It was very difficult indeed. It was chosen for a cause and a reason, and that's the reason never ever the strain was felt. Never ever, and never ever felt like having a refreshment or a break or anything to that matter. Everything was included in that as a package. Yes.
I think right from the beginning, like you said, your intention was very clear.
Exactly.
And health
Exactly.
and healing was your focus.
So true.
So I think that way, for anybody who's looking at entrepreneurship, if that intention is defined early on,
Yes.
it makes them, I think, more stable in what
So true.
decisions they
So true.
make.
Your paths get very easily achieved
Yeah.
and gets cleared, and there's no ambiguity at all. And as you said that when was the sense of achievement you achieved? The minute we got a first testimonial that Priyanka, it was a great thing after about 20 days of consumption of dark chocolates or darkolates. I'm able to see these and these observations. So that was the sense of achievement for me. Not the sense of achievement which we get it usually in the entrepreneur journey, like when there
Yes.
is a loads being filled in the accounts with respect to money. It is not that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was very much clear that I want to get these reviews, and it has to move towards the path of the consultation and take a turn towards the consultation and the customization. And I directly did that with a complete effort and 100% marking as a milestone over there.
Superb, superb. So now if somebody like wants to take up chocolate making, what is a traditional path that one would take? Like, are there courses or is it YouTube education?
I sincerely request to whoever wanting to get this particular hobby as a profession or anything like that. So do go by a very orthodox system itself. Like go learn, get the course done. Whether you want to do it in a professional way or take it as a hobby, do it in a very serious way where you're
Yeah.
wanting to decide it in a later days of the time. That is left to you absolutely.
Okay.
But getting it from the YouTube is not a wrong thing. But at the same time, investing time for some education never goes wrong or never goes
Absolutely.
waste.
Absolutely.
So when you're wanting to educate, that means you're healthy somewhere, wanting to learn new stuffs and good stuffs. So when you are healthy, learn things in a very serious way is what always we say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um,
So we have, in continuation to that,
Yeah.
so we have 15 days course and 3 days of the course been assigned for people who are very much interested to enter into a professionally or say hobby or anything to that matter, just to even educate themselves so they can be part of this course as well. So this curriculum is set in a very distinctive way, making them understand the practical difficulties of it, and especially women who are struggling to make their mark, especially after their delivery of the kids and everything.
Yeah.
So if they're wanting to come back to their professional life and earn some money as a means of their pocket money, or so just to make a little of the hands-free kind of a situation, then they can join for this curriculum and make a best benefit out of it.
So these details are available on your
Yes,
website?
yes. So post April of every year, we will be launching these courses, and we will make a entire scrutinization of whether the person is really wanting to join this course and will be able to understand the concepts and how to handhold and support, because most of the women who just inquire us with these courses are remote village area people and villages, these women who are wanting to do something really good.
Okay.
So their commitment is really good. So we want to extend our support and help us. So we also see that post the learning, they are able to set up a small unit or a manufacturing unit at their home itself, like in a 10 by 10
Right.
room or something like that. So we also extend our support by traveling down to their place and making a setup and helping them down to that level, seeing that they are able to produce or manufacture some of the compositions what we teach them. So until they settle in the market, until they settle or study the market, we are able to handhold and support. We buy their produce or manufactured products, and we see that they are settled and they get the confidence. It should
Super.
not be like you complete the course and then you get a half a confidence and never know like where you want to progress, where you want to go, what exactly to do. And again, you just get nullified with the thoughts that it's simply not possible. It's only possible with the people having money or anything like that. It's definitely not like that. We want to
Got
fill that confidence very completely throughout their journey.
Superb. So
Yeah.
if now say we are looking at budding entrepreneurs, most
Mhm.
of our listeners are people who are aspiring to become entrepreneurs
Mhm.
or who are looking to probably change their field. Now, what is the kind of investment that one can, roughly plan for? What are some of the margins?
Okay.
And the third part of this question is in terms of your space itself.
Mhm.
Can you start at home? Because I think the flavors or chocolate itself
Yes.
can be, say if you're living in a
Yes.
household,
Yes.
the smell can be really empowering.
Mhm.
So, what is your take on these three aspects of the business?
No, definitely. If anybody is serious about it, they can start it. For the best and improved thought process towards being an entrepreneur in today's era, what I always say personally is that equip yourself with a lot much of the certifications. Don't just be in a hurry to make money. The more you're empowered through the knowledge what you're possessing will always brings you money over a period of time,
Yeah.
whatever you do that. So the more you're commanding on the subject what you're carrying through gives a lot of confidence to the people from the society. So that is very much important as an entrepreneur. You need not be a immediate person who just knows the concept and has plunged into the money making process as an entrepreneur. So that is one first more important thing. And in this field of our chocolate, if anybody is wanting to involve or say start it off, so the biggest investment is through the certifications.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So the certifications vary from 80,000, 90,000 to 1.5, 2 lakh, 2.5 lakhs per certifications. So these certifications will help you to understand in a broader way that where you want to focus, where you want to target.
Got it.
It's we have chosen the health. So somebody might choose the ultra luxury segments. Somebody might choose a different varieties which are very new to the country or very new to the segment of society. So now depending upon that, so that exposure can be taken from the certificates what you do.
Got it.
That's biggest investment. Coming to the third point, yes, it can be done in a home with a small space which is very hygienically maintained with an AC and a dehumidifier and everything been set up over there in a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 room. It can be started off. So with a smaller machine of about 2 kg output can be started, and investment comes close to around 2.5 to 3 lakhs. That's very minimal.
Okay.
Very minimal.
Okay.
Yes, that includes everything in that.
Right. Now, just as as a woman entrepreneur, I think we wear a lot of different hats, right? We
Yes.
have, starting with being a daughter.
Yes.
You become a daughter-in-law,
Yes.
you're a wife, you're a mother, you're a business owner. And then your friends, you are
So true.
sisters, you are, I think there's more responsibility to maintain all that we shoulder upon us.
So true.
So, how has your journey been, and what is your advice to budding women entrepreneur in specific?
So the biggest advice or suggestion is to kindly take care of your health. That's the best and the most important thing, because it's all a wrong myth and a notion saying that when you are an entrepreneur chasing your dream, that dream is dream which doesn't make you sleep. All that is very insensible, because basically I mean I am very traditional and orthodox from mentality, because I feel women is not supposed to be too much aggressive on any of the fronts. That's because our body is made up of the hormonal composition, where we are not supposed to take any of the stress level beyond certain limits. So what happens is we are not designed by nature in such a way to handle too much of the stress. So it might be contradictory to the many of the feminine or people making the statements on these fronts or these subjects, but it is so true. As a coming from the medical fraternity and from the health background, I openly say that we are not designed to take that much of the stress.
Okay.
So the minute the cortisol, that is stress hormone, increases in our body with the aggressions what we carry, whether through the aspects of the family life or through the aspects of the professional life, you cannot lower it down, because that will hamper and directly hits the hormone level. So once it hits, that is the reason India, only in India, you may not be able to believe that in India, we attain the perimenopause and menopause early by 40 itself. Now it has started by 35 itself. So what does that indicate? That is the level of stress hormone what every woman is undergoing. Because igniting the masculine power in you, showing, wanting to show that I'm no less than anybody in the family, anybody in the society, wanting to prove that I can also be recognized, wanting to create her own identity, wherein husband's identity is not enough, or a supporter's identity is not enough. All these are too much of the aggressions which will create a lot of load in the female body. So this we ask you to carry it very slowly and very gracefully, so that you enjoy your feminine energies as well, and also take up the journey of your hobby, passion, accomplishments in a very beautiful way. It's still possible. It's still possible. All you need to do is just focus on health. That's the reason first immediate statement was that the minute you take care how to handle your stress hormones in a very polite way, delicate way, and a decent way, you are able to achieve multiple things in a life.
Right.
Because by nature we are multitasking creatures.
Yes.
So that should not be a problem unless and until it is designed in such a way or structured in such a way, you can enjoy the entrepreneur journey in a better way. But again, it's a immediate call, not like an employee segment. Day and night the brain runs.
Yeah.
It never stops at all. It's like the subjects are on all the time, green
Yes.
all the time. It's never red.
Yes.
So that's the reason. Keep priority your health, and obviously your mental and emotional health is too important to understand what clarity you want to give it to your product or service. That's another thing. And sense of accomplishment is very important. Most of the entrepreneurs don't understand what gives them a sense of accomplishment, and I am being fortunate to have got the biggest gurus in my life as the turning and teaching teachers in the place of gurus, to tell me what takes a different step to be an entrepreneur. It's not just the brand coming on top of the world and everywhere, but you being satisfied. Are you
Yeah.
satisfied?
Yeah.
Are you really making your inner self very happy? If that contentment is achieved, then everything is accomplished. So that is
Superb.
very much important.
Superb. I think it's a very valid point you bring, because we are in this hustle culture.
Yes.
Constantly, you're like, oh, are you getting 8 hours of sleep? You're sleeping for 8 hours?
Yes.
And suddenly you're feeling guilty for sleeping for
So
8 hours.
true. So true.
I sleep only for 4 hours because I am hustling, you know.
Yes.
And then you go on a guilt trip that, okay, maybe I'm not doing enough for my business,
Yes.
or I'm less of an entrepreneur. And that guilt spills over all other areas. As
So
a
true.
mom, you're like, am I being a bad mom? Am I not? You know, these things sort of are, I think, you put upon yourself.
Exactly.
And handling, like you said, that contentment has to be achieved for yourself rather than.
Yes, yes. So
I
it
think-
all needs a gratitude. I mean, the entire world has to move towards the gratitude for whatever is being given to them, whether the food being served by the mother, wife, daughter, or a friend, or whatever it is. That gratitude must be there for whatever is being done. So the minute you thank, whether it comes from a hotel service person or from your mother
Yeah.
or whoever has cooked for you today, so that brings a great level of
Yes.
contentedness feel and satisfaction. The minute you achieve that, nobody goes in hunt of other satisfaction outside.
Yes. Yes.
So it all revolves around the entire world to change the approach.
Yeah.
So that's the reason kids also must have been experiencing the same issue. So the more we tell them that as a child you are so blessing to us and everything, if you are intermittently talking and telling them, they don't feel insecure about their food choices, because food choices are the result of insecurities. That is directly proportional. So most of the people don't understand that.
Wow.
Yeah, it is very, very relatable.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's been excellent chatting with you. So
Same.
what next for Darkolates? I'm very curious to know.
And next for Darkolates is to establish a completely affirmed statement and an understanding to the whole society that we are here to heal you through food. And please believe your body that you still can make wonders, because a simple soup, my friend always says that your soup has that healing capacity. I never believed until I tried on myself. So a soup would definitely take you to not to surrender to the painkiller or to any of the paracetamol or to any of the antibiotics, because body can have that capacity to heal. You need to be patientful enough. So we want to bring back that patience, that understanding, that healing capacity, and that true power or the understanding and energies through Darkolates to the society. And we will be doing this continuing until we are here.
Superb. Thank you so much for spending time with
Thanks
us.
a lot. Thanks
And
a
I
ton.
think we learned a lot of takeaways from this conversation.
Thank you so much.
From a product standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, from a women's standpoint. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for doing this.
Thank you, Raksha.
And we are actually going to taste this.
Yes, please.
Very soon. The team is waiting.
Yes, please.
So thank you for doing this again.
Thank you so much. And as I told you, we conduct these Darkolates, dark chocolate luxury sessions.
Okay.
So that session is a beautiful involvement of whoever it is to involve in these eating way. Like we literally tell them how to eat dark chocolates.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So maybe looking forward to attending that.
Definitely,
session soon.
definitely. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. It was really great sharing our point of view and our experience here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you.
Yes.
The sponsor for this episode is a social media agency called Paperplay. Paperplay as a company understand your requirement, strategize your social media play, help you with the social media calendar, complete account management, and finally analyze the analytics. So if you're an entrepreneur, reach out to Paperplay for your social media needs. More details in the description below.